Hey there, welcome. Welcome to Rise and Receive. This is an opportunity in your day to stop whatever you're doing and take a little time to explore how to receive fulfillment in your life by unlearning struggle. So today we are doing tip number 4 on releasing the resistance that blocks you from receiving what you want. I've done tip number 1, 2, and 3, and today tip number 4, hey Julie, great to see you, is about pausing when you find yourself asking the question, how do I? So how do I is one of the most common questions that people ask when they're pursuing goals and dreams and their heart's desires. And yet sometimes that question, how do I, is actually the very cause of the resistance that blocks or slows down the flow of what you most want. So I invite you to think about something that you want in your life. And if you've been asking, how do I get this? How do I manifest this? If you're trying to figure it out and you're feeling stuck, you're feeling like things aren't moving, you just can't see the path, then I invite you to sit back and receive this message because I think this could help you get unstuck. If you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, and I mentor ambitious, goal-oriented people to surpass their limits with ease and speed. And the way that I do this is I illuminate the very specific blind spots that most ambitious goal-oriented people have, because what I've learned as one of those people, because ambitious goal-oriented is where I come from myself, ambitious goal-oriented people tend to see the world a very specific way, and because they see it that way, which is through the lens of human doingness, they do a whole lot of thinking and a whole lot of action taking, it blinds them to seeing this whole other skill set, human beingness, and very tangible skills that make dissolving their upper limits possible. And that really is the cause of any of your upper limit issues. When you only rely on one set of skills, like human doingness, and are missing another one, which is human beingness, then you can only go so far. But when you realize what you've been missing, and that skill is receiving, understanding how to actually stop all the doing and receive the very thing you've been working so hard for, then your upper limits dissolve and you become able to receive things that you just couldn't receive before. So one of the ways that we do this is we look at our blind spots, and blind spots come in the form of resistance sometimes. You may have heard the saying, what you resist persists. Well, it's true, because your consciousness creates your reality. So if you're resisting something and you don't even know that you're resisting it, then that's going to persist, the problem of not being able to be free of the resistance and open to flow. But when you can see things clearly, which is what happens when we illuminate blind spots, then all kinds of things become possible. So let's talk about some of the common things that people want and see which one sort of stands out for you. You can use it sort of as an example that you can work with today. So sometimes you may be looking for a job and say, how do I find the job of my dreams? Or you want a relationship. How do I manifest the relationship of my dreams? Maybe it's money. How do I make more money? How do I attract more money? Maybe it's around your body. How do I get healthier? How do I get rid of these aches and pains? How do I become more attractive or more beautiful? So whenever you have a goal or dream, we ask, how do I? Now, if you know what you want and you know how to go about getting it, then how do I is a very logical question to ask, because then you'll just make a plan and take the next steps and, good task mode, good project manager mode. But when you keep asking, how do I, and you keep bumping up against the wall because you just don't know what you don't know, then that constant how do I becomes a source of resistance. And this is why. In the world of doing, we often approach our goals and dreams like the hunter who sets a target, makes a plan, and goes out and gets it. Okay, but in the world of receiving, which is what the majestic tree embodies, okay, there's no analyzing, there's no how do I, there's no figuring out. The majestic tree is a being, just like you are, a human being, and it embodies receptivity. It receives all day long from nature, from the sky, from the earth, from the animals, everything it needs and probably much of what it wants by doing nothing. It's open, it's receptive, and everything that life gives it flows through it unselectively. So how do we do that when we're human beings as opposed to tree beings? Okay, we're going to talk about that. So the first thing to know and remember is your consciousness creates your reality. That's the sum total of everything happening in your awareness. Your thoughts, feelings, experiences, sensations, conditioning, expectations, all of that inner world stuff. But many times we don't understand what's happening in consciousness, which creates the resistance. So let's see what happens when you ask, how do I? When you ask the question, how do I fill in the blank, get this outcome that I want? There's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening that's actually keeping the thing that you want away from you. When you ask, how do I, you are activating the energy of waiting. Because maybe you're unaware of this, but when you say, how do I, means what I want isn't here yet. And something needs to happen first before I can get the thing I want. So that plan that you're waiting for, that information that you're waiting for, that aha that you're waiting for causes waiting. That's a form of resistance that prevents the flow of what you want to come into your life. How do I also perpetuates the energy of lack, because when you're asking how do I, the underlying consciousness is I don't have what I want, whether it's the money, the relationship, the body that you want, the job that you want. If you're asking how do I, it means you don't have it. Lack, 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 your consciousness creates more lack. When you ask how do I, it puts you in seeking mode. And seeking mode means what you want is out there on the horizon, which means it's separate from you. You're here, everything you want out there. So your consciousness is, I'm a seeker. Seeking, 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 which manifests more seeking because your consciousness creates your reality. And number 4, when you ask how do I, it means that you receiving what you want is conditional. I need more information before I can have what I want. Excuse me. So this condition must be fulfilled before I'll receive it, which means even if the thing you want is here and you just aren't aware of it, it's like it's available in so many ways, but you can't see it because you're asking how do I, you would not be able to receive it because underneath all of that, you're believing that you have to have more information or a clear path or a way before you can receive it. So that's called conditional receiving. So do you see how in consciousness there's a lot going on when you ask how do I, how do I, how do I? So the thing to practice then is when you notice that you're kind of caught in the loop of how do I and it's not happening, that's a form of resistance. And the first and most powerful thing you want to do is to stop. Stop the doing, stop the figuring out, just stop. And then shift from how do I to a different question, which will now open up the flow. So the question that releases the resistance to receive more of what you want is, how would I like to feel? Now, before you turn off this recording or step away from the Facebook Live, I really invite you to just hold on, because I know sometimes when we start talking about feelings, we're like, oh, feelings, whatever. How is that powerful? How is that valuable? How's that going to get me what I want? Well, I'm here to say that if you're ambitious and goal-oriented and you haven't gotten it yet, or it hasn't lasted, this is the missing puzzle piece. Okay, because in order to receive what you most want in physical form, you need to focus on the essence or the energy of it first, because your consciousness creates your reality. And feelings are essence. Because the only reason you ever want anything for every goal is because you're chasing a feeling. You are chasing the feeling that you think that thing will give you that you can't get any other way. So let's go back to our examples. Let's say you want a job. Ask yourself, what's the feeling you think that job will give you? All right. Let's just for now say it's the feeling of appreciation. Let's say you're in a job where you feel unappreciated, invisible, unseen. They don't pay you enough. Maybe it's the feeling of appreciation. If you're wanting a relationship, whether it's an existing one or one that you don't have, maybe it's the feeling of connection. Okay, that's why you want it. Maybe it's the feeling of passion. Maybe it's the feeling of belonging. If you want money, maybe it's the feeling of ease, of peace, of security, of power, of freedom. If you want a different experience with your body, it gives you the feeling of lightness, vitality, beauty, attractiveness. So find out what the feeling is. That's the first question. How would I like to feel? Now, when you ask this question, different things are happening in consciousness. First of all, instead of waiting, you're now in right here, right now, because feelings can be accessed right here, right now. Believe it or not, nothing needs to happen before you feel a feeling if you activate the power of choice and focus. All right? Think about how you want to feel, and then think about what makes you feel that way. You can go anywhere, like you can just go to your happy place of memories that you've had or fantasies that you have, or go to YouTube and look up something that makes you feel that way or connect with that. Okay, go out in nature, talk to a friend. Those feelings are available right here, right now. So instead of waiting, which is resistance, you can connect with right here, right now. When you ask, how would I like to feel? This is so powerful. You bring it into the physical realm. In order to manifest something in your physical world, you have to feel it in your physical body. Until you feel it in your physical body, how do I keeps it up in your imagination? Imagination is the world of imagination. It isn't real. When you feel it in your body, it's now physical to you. Physical feelings equals physical experience. When you ask, how would I like to feel? You can also shift from seeking what you think is not here to seeing how it's already here. So let's say you're wanting to connect with that feeling of ease, because that's what money represents, right? You don't have to have ease around money. You can look at, where else do I have ease in my life right now? Maybe you have the ease of just being able to walk out the door and you have trees all around you and it's really easy to get fresh air in nature. Maybe it's the ease of going out to hang out with some friends and you have that readily available. Maybe it's the ease of just picking whatever you want to eat out of your cupboard. Okay, you want to start looking for, how do I have this feeling in my life right now? And give thanks for it. That brings it into right here, right now, rather than separate someday waiting. Okay. And then finally, the piece about needing more information, which is conditional. When you ask, how would I like to feel? You no longer need more information. All you need is willingness. Willingness is the power of invitation. Just like the tree is an embodied invitation, and it receives everything it needs, probably much of what it wants, if it wants anything at all, simply by being an invitation all day, every day. Fully abundant. Okay? So you stop the thinking, figuring out, and doing, and you start the willingness. Be willing to feel and see how what you want is already here in the feeling essence state, and just watch what starts to show up in your life. When you notice it, give thanks. And when you don't know how to connect with it, just be willing. So here's a great affirmation that you can practice. I am willing to see and feel all the ways, fill in the feeling, let's say it's ease, all the ways ease is already in my life. I am willing to see and feel all of the ways that ease or connection, or what else did we have up here? Beauty is already here. And then when you notice that you're feeling it, give thanks for it. Now here's a trick. If you have trouble connecting with the feeling, it's very easy to connect with it when you think about somebody who's less fortunate than you. So let's say you don't think that you have ease in your life, that everything feels hard. Well, just think about somebody whose life is just a little bit harder, maybe a lot harder because of the conditions. You will immediately feel gratitude for how much ease you have. So there's somebody who said, I wish I knew who it was because I'd love to quote them, if you can't be grateful for what you have, be grateful for what you escape. The feelings are always here if you're willing to call upon choice and focus to connect with it. Okay? So I hope this was helpful in helping you see how you can release resistance to the things you want when you're stuck in figure out mode. And if it was, please like, please share. It helps me reach the people that I'm here to serve. If you're on YouTube, click the red subscribe button. Look for the links above and below for next step resources to learn more about how you can receive your fulfillment by unlearning struggle. And if you'd like to be part of a growing community where that's all we explore is how to surpass our limits with ease and speed and really learn how to receive, join the Receive community on Facebook. I'll include a link. That's facebook.com/groups/Receive community. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.